I had gone in for really severe back pain to the hospital. They had told me that they were sorry, but that I had stage 4 breast cancer, and it had metastasized throughout my bones and specifically very aggressively through my spine and into my liver and into my lymph nodes, and that I needed to get on immediate treatment. Hi, I'm Karla Stevens Tolstoy, and I was born in 1969. So this year is a pivotal year because I turned 50. And I had a different imagination, I guess, different plans for my 50th year, which was going to be made up of travel. My son is 18 and was taking a gap year, and my husband and I were going to travel. I worked extensively through Europe, and I wanted my son to experience, I wanted to take him to Rome for the first time, and I wanted to take him to Bucharest, where I'd worked in Romania, and I just had all these plans. And although I'd not been feeling great for the last few years, it was diagnosed as just I needed to work better on my core, and I needed to get into better shape, and maybe mentally I had to find out why maybe I was sleeping all the time, and was I depressed, and what had caused that depression, and get down to the root of things. I always used to think that when I met someone or heard of a family member that got breast cancer, and they told me that their breast was removed, or I would always think like, wow, that must be serious. For them to get their breast removed, that must be really serious cancer, And then when I asked them, I said, okay, great, when do we remove my breasts? And they said, oh, no, we don't do it for stage 4, it's too serious. We don't want to risk surgery with you, and there's really no point now because it has metastasized through your body. And I think that I was just like, what? No, that's not, no, there's all these runs for breast cancer, and there's all these new bras, and there's all these new women's movement where you get a breast removed and you're cured. And I was really shocked when I was no, it just doesn't work like that. And I describe this past year as one massive learning curve, not only about cancer but about life in general, and how do I now want to spend my new kind of life, and what is my new normal. I just didn't even know what services, or I didn't even know what was available, because it was so new to me, the process. There could be someone that can come to you and talk about talk therapy, they can even come with you and talk about and do Reiki, or there's a bunch of services that are offered. And I was really, how does this all work? And when I first met with Nina from Acclaim, who came to do talk therapy with me, I wasn't expecting to like her so much. She just was a really good listener. And she also recognized early what makes me feel good, and what type of talk therapy helps me. And she quickly understood that I like to hear people's stories. That's what interests me. And I ask a lot of questions, and I like to know all about a person, and I like to know all about what her world is like, and what are other people like me, how are they dealing with all this. Because of all her work in the community, and because she works in palliative, she was able to get me a little faster and ask the right questions, such as, how how do you feel about like dying with dignity? Like, how do you feel about that concept? Is that something you want to do if it got down to it? You know, how do you see like death looking for you? What does that look like to you? Like, what are your fears? And, you know, what do you most get scared about when you think about it? You know, and then helping me to feel grounded with that. There is a natural staging of grief that happens when you find out that you have something that's not curable, and to find out that, you know, I'll always be in pain. And what does pain look like for like people in general that are in palliative? And so I think she really opened up to that area of things. I try to be really honest and authentic with how I tell my cancer story. I don't try to pretend that life was perfect before I got cancer. A lot of people idealize their life, but there's a lot of things that cancer's brought me that made my life better. It sucks that I'm in a palliative state, but there has been things that it's brought me that are really blessings. You know, it really makes you focus on things important. It made me deal with a lot of my own shit, because in order to focus on your health, you've got to get rid of the negative space in your head to make way for like new space to try to be healthy. But I do think that without this, people would be in much worse condition, and that getting somebody to talk to and somebody to, you know, visit you and spend time with you is priceless for probably every patient that's in palliative.